All right, not sure how good a signal I'm going to have out here, but wanted to do a quick Megacon aftermath blast about what's happened over the last weekend. Really, pretty much kind of catch you guys up what's been going on over the last month. I got to get my steps in. I went 3 times my amount of steps at Megacon, so I want to keep that goal going. So went to the park early this morning. On Mondays, I have off. I go to class at the Joe Cubert School online at 6. But wow, MegaCon. Uh, really, this whole month has been a whirlwind. It's only 36 days into the year, and this year I've been to 3 comic conventions. I met 3 people that I've been trying to meet, uh, and looking forward to meeting heroes of mine. I reconnected with some friends, both physically, emotionally, spiritually, and throughout there, and it was a lot of fun. And I made quite a bit of new friends along the way. Hopefully, counting some of you guys that watched the video. One of the things that I looked at this year is I had a convention at Lakeland, which was more animation and anime. And that was a lot of fun because I got to meet one of my friends that I was looking forward to meeting, somebody I met online and was inspired by, and Dave Wonder. Had a great time. And then we had the convention, uh, OAX. This was a new convention, and it just really was an art expo, but it reminded me of the conventions back when I first started going to conventions. Ooh, long time ago. And it was so personal and it was spacious and it was more interaction between you and the creators that I can't say how much that meant to me. And I don't realize how much that's missing from the convention scenes that you go to now. Don't get me wrong. I love MegaCon and I'll continue to be patronage to them. But I have to say, really, when I'm looking at um, the space that they allowed for the artist alley and the fact that there was less space between booths or between aisles in artist alley than there are going through like a Walmart aisle. It says a lot. Uh, you limit the amount of traffic that can stop and look. Um, they were kind of opening more space for their moneymaker. And as a businessman, I have to agree. If the ticket sales are being generated and pumped up by those type of draws like media stars and things like that, even YouTube stars, then by all means go after them and try to go through. But you have to accommodate those artists and creators so that they can still get access to it. I still had fun, and I guess really, hey, Mamita0724, thank you so much. Trying to make sure everything's going well. Thank you for watching. So one of the things I was looking at in some of the posts and what I go for the convention for is to connect with people. I am a people person. And I'll tell you what, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I know sometimes you see the pictures on YouTube or excuse me on Facebook on the social media or you see the videos. And in general, I'm a happy-go-lucky. I love excuse me because I am going to stretch as I go through, so I apologize. But I enjoy interacting with people and I love to have fun. It doesn't mean I don't have bills to pay, problems to go through, pains that I deal with. And I am a very emotional person. So, I mean, I do deal with a lot of heavy stuff. I don't always show that. And it's just something in my makeup as I grew up, I kind of hid from the truth of the reality of my situation. What I do appreciate, though, is that when I'm around people, and I mean, not just anybody, But when you're around people that truly care about you, they know when silence means something's up. They know when a smile, a hug, or even a gesture as silly as a dad's joke uh, can make the best of your day. When I go to a convention, I didn't go all this week. One, because I was working. Two, really, I don't need to buy comics or anything like that. I can access it online. I have sites. I go to other places. But one of the things that I do is this is a chance for me to connect with artists that I look forward to seeing year after year. I look forward to, if I have the money, buying and supporting stuff that they sell and adding it to my collection. Maybe get something that's original. Like this year, I got the print, and this is for my brother Matthew that I got it because he's a big star. I love Starman, but Tony effing Harris, doesn't go to a lot of shows, and they had him set up the equivalent of like the old Artist Alley, because the new Artist Alley is like Skid Row, but as the way they set it up. But they had him set up there, and I was surprised the amount of people that weren't lined up to see him. But I picked up a really awesome print and got to spend some time talking with him, and that personal collection is what I enjoyed. Uh, I've been feeling down recently, thanks to some friends who reached out, talked to, and a surprise visit from some friends. But one of the things that I looked at this convention, um, it's kind of hard to say. It's like sometimes you go to these conventions and you have this warped sense of reality because in social media we feel like we're right there, we're talking, and even though that person may be typing to over a million people watching or anything like that, not like I know what that feels like. I'm talking like maybe what, two or four, but this video is going to live on, so maybe somebody's hearing these words and can actually touch them. But I'll talk to people online and I feel like I have a connection, and then they don't recognize you, they don't see you, and you're shy. You don't know what to say to them or how to connect with them, and you don't want to seem like you're stalking them or anything like that. So I was kind of feeling that kind of low when I was in the convention when I first got there, and I'm walking around and I'm excited to see everybody, but it's just so much crowds. It's overwhelming that I went to see one of my favorites of all time. He's a writer, and Frank Thierry. And I went down, and he recognized it, and we said hi, and I said, "What's going on?" and how we're doing and stuff like that. And what I loved about Frank, and I love him to death. I was down there. We talked. We did, quick chit chat, just kind of, regular convention stuff. And every year, we take a picture flipping off the camera. And I said, I might have to pass on the flipping off uh, sign this year, and I had my hands full, and I was just everything was weighing in on me, a lot of stuff going on, and just he noticed that something was wrong because he said, "Why?" But the way he said it was we're connected. He understood that something's going on or something I was thinking, and like, well, my hands are full, and then he gave us a bunch of bullcrap excuses. He goes, "Ah, come on, you came out here for nothing. Come on." And just that, just that feeling, just something silly like me and him flipping off the camera like I'm still in junior high school made me feel good. It made me feel seen. It made me feel acknowledged. And I want to thank Frank for that. You're a freaking good guy. I was going to say the other word, but I can't do that when I'm on my YouTube channel. But, Frank Terry, and this is one of the things, there's creators out there, and I'm not going to name drop a whole bunch, but I wanted to acknowledge there's creators out there that make you feel connected to the whole process because they actually genuinely care. The one name I will drop is George Perez was one of those guys that he lived here in Florida and he lived in an area where I live in. where I got to see him at a lot of different conventions. And when he recognized me in costume at a convention in Chicago, I mean in Atlanta for Dragon Con, that just meant the world to me. I was seen by one of my heroes. So Frank, I freaking love you. Thank you. Uh, what else? Oh, Joe Kubert School. One of the things. Now, I already said my piece about what they did on the Artist Alley, and I was very disappointed in that. But the interactive media um, aspects of the show is one of the things that I really, really, really love because the Joe Kubert School for a couple of years now have been setting up a booth, and they usually set it up in what's called a creator corner. And the creator corner, they go ahead and they're doing portfolio reviews, they're doing mini classes for kids, and it's a great interactive way. And I think that's one of the things in the future for conventions. Interactivity has got to be the way. What is everybody doing online? Is they're trying to interact with their heroes, they're trying to interact, they want to feel a part of it. And if you want to touch into that for the convention section, that's where you got to go. You got to have them interacting. Why are people so excited about paying all this damn money to get a photo? They don't look at it as that. They're paying all that money to get a chance to see somebody that they are on the movies thinking they're hanging out with them, and now they got a picture to prove they're hanging out with them. And that's what it is. That's the attraction. That's the draw. Why else would I want to go and pay so much money to see somebody? Stan Lee, I paid to see, the rest of the show, and I got a picture with him when I was there in 2016, I think it was. And that was one of the things. That was the draw. I needed to make sure I saw my hero and feel like he was there with me. And I got my brother, and we went, and I had my son. So all three of us went, and we took a picture with Stan Lee. So this interactivity with the Joe Kubert School. Now, I do take the course online that I signed up for last year. So that's something new I did this year was take that course. It started in January, and I went ahead and signed up for it, and I'm loving it. I'm learning a lot, and I got a ways to go, but I am learning a lot. Uh, Excuse me if I'm huffing and puffing. I'm a big guy, but it was something to see them in person and got to meet some of the graduates and instructors that are there this year. Of course, Anthony Marquez, who's the head. I mean, this guy's a stand-up guy. I love him to death. He really makes you feel special. Goes in and takes the time to show you some stuff. And as an artist, he knows what he's talking about. He's an excellent artist. Here was an opportunity for people to have that interaction. So I did that with them, and it was great to show my portfolio, to get some feedback. Um, it's just one of those things. Let's see. The big thing also that's coming on in some conventions uh, is reveals. Everybody wants to be a part of the reveals. So I was very happy that Megacon had the reveal of the new um, Jeff Johns project. And again, Aaron Halen was out there and he was there with them. So they had a big roster of people, and they did it in what I would say was low key. So it was really good. Um, let's see what else. Huh. So I was looking for the convention was fun, but it's again the price. Everything goes up. Pricing for the parking and everything like that. For those of us that live close by, it's easy to go to some of our areas. But I tell you what do I see as the future? I think comic artists are going to, unless they're really, really big names, it's going to stay to local unless they start going to comic books, kind of like they do the book tours, and then hitting comic book stores because comic book shops are no longer just selling comics and going to a situation where you just go in and buy books and toys, but a lot of them are becoming coffee shops, hangouts, game centers. So I think again, here's that whole view of interactivity. How do we get involved? And that's something that we could really see. Um, I could see as a trend in the future. One of the shops that I frequent, um, Blackbird Comics and Coffee House, has a situation like that set up, and I really see that that's some kind of environment that you're going to see. And I see a couple of things. I was talking with uh, oh goodness, Anthony Marquez about the shop that he just reopened in New Jersey, Dewey's Comic Shop, and they did a real big signing, and they had the whole interactivity for kids doing art and stuff like that. And I really think that's the future, as what we're going into. Until we can get holograms into our homes. Not too far away, really, when you're thinking about that Minority Report type. Excuse me, that Minority Report type uh, technology that they're putting out. So, what's my suggestions? But I love Megacon. In the future, they're going to have to split up and set up a section for the comic side. Maybe keep the anime side and the anime and the movie side together on one, and then open the side. I really think they got the opportunity there. Parking's always going to be a hassle until you get, Orlando's got to get mass transit in place so people can take different mass transit. But other than that, we got to get back to how we interact with each other, how we interact with them. And I'm telling you, they're going to end up missing out. They're going to lose money soon. I don't know if they're losing money. I don't follow their financials on the photos and all that ops. But I'm telling you, I heard from the fans, the people I talked to, the people I was around, and I walk around and listen to everybody. They paid a lot of money to get a picture with their hero. And they gave a couple of cards away where they said, oh, so and so's too old. I understand how he needs to be separated. But when you separate them from their fans, and they don't want, that's their choice. That's their choice. Don't go to do a picture. Send me a photograph that you took of yourself because you don't want to be in the picture with me. What they liked, Tom Hiddleston. A friend of mine took a picture with him. It looked like a family photo, and he adopted them. It was awesome. He's interacting. He talked. He was lovable. But he was personable. It wasn't faked. If it was faked, that mug, excuse me, I almost cursed. That mug deserved the Oscar nomination because that came genuinely from him. He meant what he said. He loved his interaction with his fans. If you don't want to be with the fans, why go to a convention for a fan expo unless you need the money? That's all I got to say. Peace out, because I got to breathe while I walk.